Mic check, mic check. What it do, what the business is, man. If it ain't messy, it ain't me. We in the building. We in the motherfucking building. Greetings and salutations and greetings, man. Happy to be here today. July, was it 19th, I think. Body count, man. Body count, body count, body count, body count, body count, body count, man. We're gonna get messy today, man. We're gonna get downright messy. You know, it's 2022. Everything is free. Everything is open. You know, it's almost back to the 70s situation. Free love and, you know, everything is everything. And the A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs and the HIQLTs and all that is popping. And, you know, everybody can be free. Everybody can be open. And everybody can accept things in life. We can accept, you know, people's religion. We can accept people's, you know, sexual preferences. But, you know, sometimes when we're in circumstance of relationships, we don't like that body count. You say, Gemma, what's the body count? You know what the body count is. The body count. How many people you've been slayed and sprayed with? How many people walls you done painted, fellas? You know? How many women you been with? Ladies, how many guys you been with? Nobody wants to talk about the body count. You know, we get in relationships and everybody, you know, they want to know if your mental health is stable. You know, everybody wants to know, you know, do you have a steady job? You know, they're asking these questions, you know, as you date and stuff. You know, everybody want to know where you come from. Do you come from, you know, the suburban area? Do you come from the city area? You know, were you born in life with a silver spoon? Hell, nowadays people want to know what your credit report look like, you know, while you dating. But nobody want to talk about that body count. That's a hard question to ask somebody. You know, we can you know, engage in every aspect of this person when we get to know them and stuff like that. But when we get to talking about that body count, that you know, it gets a little bit scary. It gets a little bit discouraging. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people say they want to ask the question, but do you really want to know how many people your people done been with, slept with, and fucked? Do you really, really want to know? You know, and if you do know, you know, can you handle that truth that you asked for? We can handle their religious background. We can handle their financial background. You know what I mean? We can handle where they grew up at, if they was born in the project slums, homeless, you know. But when it comes to talking about that sexual situation, that sexual healing, nobody wants to talk about that conversation. It's very uncomfortable. It's very messy. You know what I mean? When we get in these spaces with people, for some reason, we live in I guess, I don't know, the world's kind of shifted. You know, it says it's a woman's world now. It's not a man's world like James Brown used to say, you know. But, you know, it's pretty well founded that guys, you know, they get to have their bragging rights, you know. You know, the more women you've been with, you know, the more of a, you know, quote unquote man you are, and a manly man, like, you know, at that. You know what I'm saying? You can poke your chest out. You know, we have kids, you know, and as fathers, you know, at least back in the day, you know, it was, you know, you had to make sure your child had the rite of passage. I'm gonna keep doing a lot of quotes today, quote unquote. This is the quote fingers. You had the rite of passage, and it was okay, you know. Well, it was more than okay. It was made kind of like hunting. Some tribes make sure you can go hunt. Well, you know, some tribes make sure you can go fuck. So like, I want to make sure my son go fuck and make sure he ain't gay and make sure his shit can work. I mean, that's pretty much what it was. Make sure you can, you know what I mean, get your nut off and carry on the legacy, carry on the family's last name. So we want to make sure you can go out there, make sure your thing works. So when you get your lady, you know, you can go ahead and, you know, do what you do and procreate and have children. But it's taboo as hell when, you know, if the women were to have a rite of passage for their daughter, you know what I mean? Because, you know, in our world, in our community, you know, Snoop, it ain't no fun if the homies ain't have none. Yo Gotti, if such and such hit it, you know what I'm saying, I can't get with her and this and that and the third. And, you know, then on the other side of that spectrum is, you know, it's, you know, what I've done in my past, you know, the females, the bras I fuck with in the past, is my past, and the dudes you fuck with in the past is your past. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, that level of discussion gets a little bit unsavory. You know, it gets a little bit unsavory and uncomfortable when a woman comes out and like, you ask them like, hey, so where you from? Shit, I'm from Massachusetts. Like, oh shit, okay. I got people in Massachusetts. Massachusetts cool little motherfucker up there. Yeah, I heard it got good weed up there. Oh yeah. Where you grew up? Shit, I grew up in the motherfucking goddamn suburbs. Oh shit, yeah, out there. Yeah, West Boston, no, North Boston, some shit. You know, oh cool. That's cool. How you crip, man? Got me a goddamn 750. Damn, bitch, you got a 750. I ain't got a 7 nothing. I'm still working, but you know, I'm in this credit repair program. I you know, I'm doing my thing. She like, oh okay, yeah. I mean, so this ballpark, how many dicks you done rolled? Excuse me? What? I can ask you anything else, but I can't ask you that. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of, when a woman, you know, comes in, she'll tell you, goddamn, I didn't had sex with 10 dudes. You know, a dude will lose his goddamn mind. What, 10 dudes? Oh my God. You slut, you bitch, you been ran through, you spoiled, you done, this, that, and the third. It's over with. You can't look at her the same no more. She ain't worth a goddamn hill of beans. It's done. You know, but if the roles were reversed and she checking you out, you know what I mean? Where you from, fly guy? Oh shit, I ain't nothing. I'm from fucking, you know what I'm saying, East Baltimore and shit. Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Da. Yeah, where you work at? Shit, I work Capital One. Oh yeah, okay, you got a nice little joint, you know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-whoop, yada. So how many people? Shorty, I ain't. That's not what I'm here for. I'm focused on you right now. You know what I mean? But if you must know, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? 5, 6, 10, 15, something like that. But, you know what I'm saying? I stayed strapped up, you know, always practice safe sex, yada, whoop-de-whoop. And she looking at you cross-eyed, and you like, bitch, why you tripping? What, that's, baby, or some people bob and weave and don't even answer the question. You know, did you ask your potential partner that? You know, is that an important part of your conversation to know who your partner slept with, how many people they done fuck with? You know what I mean? Can you be comfortable in that situation to have that conversation with your potential partner? Because a lot of people can't do that shit. And it turns, you know, it turns a lot of situations that could potentially be good, bad for the wrong reasons. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's 2022, you know what I'm saying? Everyone has sex. You know what I mean? And definitely in this day and age, sexual content is definitely more accessible, and which makes it more impressionable on our kids today as we know it. You know what I mean? So we're definitely growing up in a more fast-paced world. Shout out to Nick Cannon. You see Nick Cannon, you know, he's definitely, you know, putting his stamp and staying on the world, putting his legacy, the Cannon legacy down. You know, I don't know, he got 17 baby mamas or something to that effect. I don't know, I lost count, but, you know, the brother's taking his stance on polygamy and taking his stance on, as long as he can financially support his situation, he's willing to go out there and you know, go raw on whoever he feel like, you know, is worthy, you know, to receive his sperm. You know, that's a hell of a way to look at life. You know what I mean? But outside looking in the normal scripted world, that shit looks crazy as hell. You know, some people like, what bitch is dumb enough to go ahead and have sex with this man? He got all these kids. He ain't no real man. How he got time? This, that, and the third. And I believe I saw this when he started his talk show and a couple other interviews. You know, Nick Cannon talks about, you know, he travels, you know, constantly back and forth between, you know, casting and writing and producing and things that he does for shows and multiple businesses. You know, in between that, he finds time with his children. And, you know, it sounded good. He was comfortable and fluid with the information. So I definitely, you know, had a good takeaway from the conversation as far as like, you know, they say don't believe the hype, but, you know, he believes the hype and not, I mean, just, you know, in an even Stephen Plaster way, if Plaster's the right word, but, you know, he believes what he believes in. And at the end of the day, more especially like, you know, the rich and powerful, you know what I'm saying? If you got the financial capabilities to support and back up what you believe in, then, you know, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? And then, you know, back to the topic at hand, you know, some people, when we get in a relationship, They say you don't want to. Guys say they don't want a girl without experience. Some females say they don't want a guy without experience. You know, some females and males believe that you need to have sex with the person to see if the sexual chemistry is there, because life is not all about just a person staying positive, giving you affirmations, planning, financial planning, and future planning and stuff like that. It's also about the sexual content of your life. You know what I mean? If you could reach goals, financial goals and spiritual goals and relationship goals, can you reach your sexual goals? Because that's very important to people in their relationships. Because at the end of the day, if we know money and finances and sex, you know what I'm saying? Those are the two most crucial things in the household at the end of the day, spirituality first, you know what I mean? But the latter two are the legs that we standing on. If we ain't got the money to support ourselves to get back and forth to church, and now long, the money to have to smell good and look good so we can have, beautiful sex, make love, then, people get to looking cross-eyed at each other. People get to looking elsewhere and enter into different things. But when you go through these processes through relationship after relationship, you know what I mean, and you're finding a new person, why is it such a bad thing when the woman will say she has a high body count and you have a high body count? You know what I'm saying? If a woman says she had a threesome or a foursome with somebody and some shit, you fucking lose your mind. Dude, like, yeah, you can brag about that shit. Man, I had like 4 bitches, bro. It's going, we was going dumb, whoop-de-whoop, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It sound good one way, but it don't sound good the other way. And we live in a society today where we pass a lot of heavy judgment and blame. Like you'll blame the whole goddamn your mama ain't shit, your daddy. You'll blame the whole family tree because somebody told you, you know what I mean, that they got a body count that's not comfortable for you to hear. It's not palatable for you to hear and shit. You know what I mean? We can goddamn say, oh, I like eating bacon grease, grits, ham hocks, and I'm destroying my body every day and shit. He's like, oh, that's cool. At least he can cook and clean and he good with the kids and shit. Oh, I'm out here fucking relieving my stress every day, and so I used to whatever, and this, that, and the third. It's a hard pill to swallow. Nobody likes to deal with that kind of situation, but it's the reality. It's the reality of the situation. Many of us been in relationships. You know what I'm saying? I've been in several relationships prior to me being married to my lovely wife. She's been in relationships prior to me. Everyone's been in different relationships, so when you find the one you want, so to speak, and you know what I mean, like you be like, man, is this motherfucker naturally good, or like, how long did she have to work to perfect her craft? And again, we weigh in judgment on that when you go down, when you go down what they call the rabbit's hole, the tunnel, so to speak. And it's not to be judged upon at the end of the day, because men, we you know what I mean, we treat, you know what I mean, we say you're supposed to treat the woman like a trophy. We treat our body like a trophy, and bitch, you should be good to be able to hold this trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like we the shit. You know what I'm saying? But you done ran through something. You know what I mean? You done ran through a whole goddamn fire squadron out this joint. You know what I mean? But it's okay in the male community to do that. You know what I mean? So again, it's a rite of passage for a man to go ahead and take his son to ensure he gets some pussy. Some people go ahead and take their kids to a prostitute, their sons to a prostitute. You know what I mean? Don't even worry about trying to, getting over your nerves or trying to get to know the girl. I'm gonna go ahead, dad gonna go ahead and hook you up. You know what I'm saying? Put you in a nice situation. You know what I mean? Good, fine, clean girl. She good and she clean. You know what I mean? Just relax, son. But you, I swear, it's definitely not. It's definitely frowned upon, in the status quo world for a female to do that, or a woman to say, oh, I'm going to take my daughter down, to get some dick, before she turns 18, so her boyfriend knows, that she has great sexual potential to be able to please him in every asset, not just as a financial consultant and a cook and and for entertainment, but also sexually as well. I mean, because it's business. It's the business of life. It sounds crazy. In the I guess I'm gonna say in the olden days now was a big thing about virginity. She needs to be pure. She needs to be, I need to be the first one to pop the cherry. I need the hymen, the cherry. I need to be the first one to penetrate. This way, I'll know she'll be sewn to me soul ties. When you have sex, they say you have soul ties. I know, she'll be tied to me forever and she's never going anywhere. Well, that sounds good, but you started off on the wrong foot already with that mentality, and we saw that century after century after century. Meanwhile, the king, he got he got hella concubines. You know what I mean? His body count is getting high. He's on a high body count murder rate right now. He's laying everything down inside. Sniper. You know what I mean? He's a man. He's supposed to be out here conquering his territory, expand my territory, expanding territory, expanding women. That means not also your land, but also in your real estate, but also your physical conquest. And guys, at the end of the day, on some player shit, you try to move accordingly as you move and conquer and you hustle and grind from here to here, side to town, state to state. You might have a couple situations, on the road. You might have a couple situations here and there. You know what I'm saying? Hand over fist, you know what I mean? It's messy, so we're going to have a messy conversation. You know what I mean? But it's okay for the guy to do that as long as he, move accordingly and don't, necessarily, humiliate or expose, his family and leave him in a vulnerable position is cool. But if the female were to do that, then, you know what I mean? It's like, again, we quick. Make a fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your auntie, your second auntie twice removed from your third cousin, bitch. You know what I mean? It's not a cool thing. So if the body count ain't right for you, what do you do with the situation? You just get up and walk away? Or do you just simply take you a small and brief, commercial break?
Hey guys, this break is brought to you by Get More Graphics. They take care of all our vinyl banners, stickers, car magnets. They do our embroidery, special occasions, birthdays, you name it. They got what you need, man. Just click the link below. I said click the link. That's that Doja. Check out the link below and go holler at them, man. They'll take good care of you. Continue watching the show. And just remember, if it ain't messy, it ain't me.
That body count is crucial, man. Also, you guys, shout out to Gray Bullies. They having hosting an ICBR show. Your man Gemma will be MCing / throwing the podcast or hosting. I guess I'll be hosting the show. I said I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking hosting the show out there in Williamsburg. It's in October 15th, 2022 out in Williamsburg. See the address right there. Go ahead and tap in. And make sure you guys show up and show out, man. We definitely in the building. If it ain't messy, it ain't me. So yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp. It's hard out here to live. We can't live on both sides of the fence in the situation when it comes to how many sexual partners we have or we had. We constructed in a world where it says there's monogamy. Monogamy is one, poly is more than one, right? And we straddle, we have that daily battle, on a daily basis. Some men feel like they need, married or not, they need multiple sexual partners. Some women may feel like, married or not, they need multiple sexual partners. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, fellas, same as women. If you get around a bunch of women, fellas, and that's another thing. I got a lot of female cousins. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, fellas, man, if you could be a fly on the wall in a room full of girls, man, you would fucking probably blow your brains out if you heard half the shit they said. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, I sucked the shit out of his dick. Da-da-da-da-da. Man, he tore that ass up. No, literally, that ass up. Like, oh, yo, nasty little bitch. Oh, yeah. And you're like, damn. Oh, slut. You know what I'm saying? but if they the fly on your wall, oh yeah, nigga, I'm fucking in the car, nigga. I had her head in the goddamn glove box because I was going to town on that bitch, man. Emergency brake, nigga, in the pussy. I was in that. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, bruh. I'm talking about she thorough, cuz. We'll do dinner, sister can't. I swear to God, nigga, on God. And we big and bad. You know what I'm saying? When we share our information, you know what I'm saying? But you hear from a female, you like, well, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Well, shit, you start to look at them a whole different kind of way. But that's the truth about life. You know what I mean? Females, the females is just like us. You know, I learned many moons ago, and it took some while to adjust. You know what I mean? But they say, you know, cats and dogs, they both shit, but they you know, shit differently. You know, dog is shit and leave his shit stinking right there, wide open. Nigga, enjoy. When a cat shit, she got to go shit in a special place, and she got to, when she do it, she kick them back feet and kick a little dirt over top of that, so to hide and muffle the scent. So hopefully, you know, you didn't see that she just took a shit. It's I'll say it's a perplexed situation. It's a perplexed situation, but if you're not ready and prepared and haven't been trained accordingly, you know, because it all goes back to, you know, if someone's disgusted by a body count or how many sexual partners their partners had prior to them, or whatever the case may be, you know, it goes back to the kids. How are we raising the kids at the end of the day on sexual freedoms? You know, we have sexual preferences and stuff like that. You know, we accept who you are and we accept this and that and the third. But then when it comes to, you know, how many people you have sex with and who, you know, how you should treat your body, then, you know, the conversation turns a little different. We raise our kids different potentially. You know what I'm saying? You need to wait till you get married. You know, at the end of the day, you know, my reality now, you know, going through, I'm like, you know, if you out there fucking, I don't care, you damn near grown at the mentality, because if you feel comfortable enough to be able to explore your body that way, you need to be able to explore everything else about life too. And I know it's a conflicting statement in this world, the way we live today. I'm like, damn, how you gonna say your child's grown because they having sex? If you can open your body and explore your body and not explore your mind and physical capability to be able to go ahead and, you know, explore every other part of life that you need to be able to survive, just in case, you know, then, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I say, what they talking about, Roe versus Wade and stuff like that. Woman should be able to choose whatever she does with her body, this, then the third. And I talked about that in the podcast week before last. But you know, you know, she should be able to choose. But you know, if the best way to avoid a Roe versus Wade or Sue versus Sally or Tom versus Dick, Jane, and Harry is not to fuck. But the truth is, people out here fucking. They starting to have sex early. They're starting to make love early, whatever you would like to classify it as. They're starting to explore and experiment their bodies a lot earlier now. You know, so what do you do with that information for them to have a productive life, a productive sexual life? Because that's an important part of life as well. Again, we search for our partners, you know, potential partners in life. You know, is their credit okay? You know, did they come from, you know, halfway stable background? You know what I'm saying? Or if they did go through some shit, is their shit comparable to my shit, so we can help one another since we understand our level of pain? You know what I'm saying? If we don't, if it's a different dynamic where I didn't really go through shit and they did, you know, we can learn from one another in that aspect. But when it comes to the sexual situation, nobody wants to hear how many people they had sex with. You know, nobody wants to have that discussion. Nobody wants to, you know, deal with those truths. You know, I mean, let's talk about it. At the end of the day, let's get messy. You know what I mean? Do you talk to your partners? I mean, your potential when you're courting, fellas or ladies, when you're being courted, or, you know, some of these ladies are a little bit alpha dominant. You know, you might be courting a man. So when you're in that situation, is that on your question, or is that on your question blocks, or are you just a go with the flow kind of person? Ladies, do you ask your guys how many people they slept with when you really ready to take it to the next level? Guys, do you really talk about? Do you really, you know, divulge your sexual information? And then some people too, talking about body count. Some people come to the table with you know, STD paperwork. You know, they come to the table and they say, hey, this is my situation. Like, again, just as they do credit checks, you know, they do STD checks. Like, they want to bring all this shit, kind of like getting insurance. You know, we need to do blood tests, mouth swabs, you know, the whole 9 yards, fingernail clippings, and make sure everything is everything. You know what I mean? Because if you can get past all that point, you want to make sure everything is still everything for your particular and current situation. This is the world. This is 2022. This is 2022, having messy and uncomfortable conversations, putting things out on the table. In the dog world, you know, we breed dogs all day long, and we made them, you know, we either naturally let them fuck, or we go ahead, jack the male off and do a artificial insemination, the AI. And it's okay in the animal world to breed, and have the pedigree because you want the best pedigree. But isn't that concept still the same with human beings? You know what I'm saying? With Homo sapiens, you know what I'm saying? Isn't that the same kind of context? You want to breed and, you know, make sure you got your true stud and make sure you got your true bitch. And you want to make sure this bitch can take care of the kids. Oh, man, she's a bad bitch, man. She's a real good mom. She can take care of the kids, man. She does great with the afterbirth, whoop-de-whoop. And we can do all that. But when it comes to us, you know, humans, you know what I mean? Oh, man, she's a great bitch, man. She's been with about 6 guys. First 3 kind of did her wrong. She kind of got turned out. The last one, they both drove each other crazy. But here she is. I think you'll like her. She's sweet, really soft on the eyes. Great personality, loves to laugh. Here's my daughter. Here you go. And you guys enjoy your date. You know, that shit sounds bonkers. That shit sounds bonkers, but it's good in every other facet of life. You know what I mean? That's an interesting spin on the conversation, in my personal opinion, because it's like everything else is universal, but when it comes to humans, there's a sacred law. You know, there's a sacred law on how we study things. There's a sacred law on how we test things, on how we hypothesize things, you know, on how we experiment on things and test things in life. That's what sociology, you know, the study of people, habits and stuff. So we can study animals and picture animals and breeding a stud with multiple females, or we had a good bitch, a good female dog, and you know, we bred her to multiple males and whoop-de-whoop, and it's okay. But when it comes, you know, to and this is to strengthen up the bloodline and the pedigree, and you can show the line breed, you can show the flaws, the defects, you can show the high points and the low points of this dog. But if we were to pull that on us, yeah, she kind of don't like doggy style, but goddamn, you can fuck her on a handstand maybe for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying, girl. All right, so this way, if you fuck him this way, he'll last 10 minutes. If you fuck him this way, he'll last an hour. If you fuck him this way, not so much, but he gonna hit that spot for you. This, that, and the third. You be like, how you know? Oh, he didn't. Yeah, but don't even worry about it, because we over. It's like we ain't. You know what I'm saying? It is, you know me, girl. I'll fuck him and leave. So it really ain't shit. I'm just telling you how to get, because y'all really connecting. Like, that shit don't fly well. That conversation doesn't fly well. Here's my son. They call him Long Dick Dong. I tell you, he's a true stud. I watched him. I personally introduced him to his first female, his first piece of patootie, and I tell you, he lasted faster than you could say chew. I tell you, he was a quick one. But now look at him, son. Go ahead and pull it out. Go ahead and pull it on out. You know what I mean? My old lady, she watched All the Queen's Men, and you know, I walked across the TV earlier, and she was interviewing some new candidates and stuff, you know, and they're like, yeah, they all big buff chocolate motherfuckers and shit. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, well, you know, I need to see what y'all working with. So she telling everybody to drop their drawers. They was like, oh, well, shit, if you shy, you know, this ain't the place for you to be. This definitely, you know, we're not even gonna get through the interview process if you shy. You know, I need to know if you trained to go. I need to know if you the right person for this job. You know, can you goddamn sling the pipe? Can you hold the goddamn pipe stiff while you drill through this wall for 3 hours, shaking slap motherfuckers in their face? You know, you have to have prerequisites with your sexuality to survive in this world. It seems like, you know, you can't be a power. You can't be a power. You know, and it's shunned on the female. You can't be a, you know, alpha female, and you can't have, you know, a great career, this, that, and the third, or actually, it's probably even taken better that way, because, you know, like I said, back in slight comparison to the Nick Cannon situation, it looks better if you got more money and slutting off, you know, versus, you know, being middle or lower class and slutting off. You look like a real slut to the definition. If you know, middle or lower class, you're like, oh man, it's like, really? But if you rich and powerful and shit, like, she's promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? It's a little, it's the seasoning is a little easier when you know, you're rich and powerful. You know, it's expected for you. You know, they're rich, they're gonna do that. That's what they do, and that's why them down at the end of the day, you see most of them people get extorted in them exposés, man, on these secret islands and secret clubs, and, you know, behind the door situation. You know what I mean? You know, people still, they raising the body count. You know what I mean? Some people are still open. Some people are still ready to explore. Some people feel like they need more. But if you're saying in an open forum, you look crazy. If you're still 40 something, if you're 50 something, 60 something, say, hey, I'm looking for more. I'm happy or unhappy in this situation, and I want to explore, myself more, because we can dig deeper in psychology when we go to a doctor. We can dig deeper about past pains and abuse and bad relationships and abandonment. But when you talk about sexuality, again, it's I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Well, this is the world and life that we live in. Um, it's information that has to be put out there, I guess, at the end of the day. But some people say it doesn't matter, and some people say it does matter. Again, we gotta take it all the same. Like animals, we take habitats and mating and breeding and nutrients the same. But when we talk about humans and that situation, we don't like to talk about the body count. What's the guy? I can't remember the brother right now. But shit, back to my Color Purple people. Back in Color Purple was on old Albert. He knocking them down. He was married to Miss Silly. Suge Avery come in town. They used to have a relationship. Hey, him and Suge putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Miss Silly, Miss Silly ugly ass on the other side. You know what I mean? He over there digging out Suge. You know what I mean? Until Suge left and went and got married, and she brought her dude back and shut down Albert. And Albert mad. He's like, I can't get the pussy no more. No, boo boo. The new light skinned dude is knocking the box. That's how that situation goes. It's like that's the era we come from. Not we come from, but the past eras of life where it was okay and warranted for a man to have multiple women and be boastful about it to for the most part. And then again, we talked about the financial aspect of it. Men were on the upper side of the financial scale. They had more power in the relationship back, and I guess more traditional past eras, to where a woman didn't feel, mentally powerful enough to even speak up on the situation. You know what I mean? But the golden rule is, as long as, there's, things are handled a certain way, then, it's whatever. But if a female does that shit, it's like, you gonna shit your motherfucking pants. She's the scum of the fucking earth. You know what I mean? And that's how we're trained. That's how we're conditioned. Men get all the sexual favors. Men are supposed to, get everything and claim this world for their own, and women are second. And now we've definitely switched and gauge in the era where women say, I'm not second, I'm first. You know what I mean? I'm the mother. I am Mother Earth. This womb is powerful. This womb is pretty. This womb smell and tastes good. And I bet you I can tell you better. I can show you with or without your ass. You know what I mean? Women are very powerful creatures at the end of the day. And I think a lot of men are intimidated by that, by that aspect alone, because, you can have as many concubines as you want as a man. I'm referring to concubines. They call them hoes now, side chicks, whatever you want to call them, mistresses. What they call them, cougars, and that's for males and females, or sugar daddies, whatever the fuck that is. You know what I mean? It's cool, but nah. Back in the day, it was, again, it was okay. It was a sanctioned situation. But a woman dare not. I think they used to behead motherfuckers like for that back in the day. And then what's this movie about the Scarlet Letter? The girl, she had the the letter on her chest or whatever. Because they said she had more than one sexual partner. She was unpure. What was that movie, Joan of Arc or some shit? I don't know. It might be confused. It's one of the two. I don't know. But it's definitely a mind trip. So guys, check it out on September 24th, 2022, Brunswick, Virginia. Me and my partner, King Pope Kennels, Mr. Gary Pope, will be down there with a dual champion shots fired. We'll be down there in the mix, hosting our meet and greet. It's also going to be the first annual Meet the Doobies Fest, Doobies Festival. We're going to have vendors out there. We're going to have horses, bouncy houses, music. Water, ice, cotton candy, you name it. We're going to be out there having a great time. It's a kid friendly environment. You guys come out there, relax, and have a good time. And come check us out. And with that being said,
For another brief break, this is brought to you by King Pope Kennels. King Pope Kennels, they produce badass American bullies, and they also fabricate custom stacking boxes and whelping boxes for you guys. They make it personal, easy, quick, and efficient to use and adjust. It doesn't pull out. You adjust the fly nuts on the side and slide it back. Stack your dog up. You know the law, stack up or shut up, man. Appreciate you guys. Continue watching the show, and always remember, if it ain't messy, it ain't me.
fellas, again, it's always it's always one sided. We can teach our sons this, that, and the third. But if you're in a house with your child and their mother, you got a son and a daughter living in the same house. What do you teach your daughter? How do you teach it? Do you just say, man, go to your mama? I don't want to hear about none of that shit. Go ahead and go to your mama. Or do you sit them down and say, look, baby, as long as you got respect for yourself and carry yourself in a certain way, it don't matter how many people you sleep with. As long as they're not violating your body, you know what I'm saying? It's your world. Can you do that as a father? Can you do that as a man? Can you look your daughter in the eyes and tell her that, whatever age you feel respectable to start teaching your kids about sex, you know what I mean? Because again, it's a very impressionable world now. They're learning, they have access and impressionability to sexual content all the time. It's slipped in cartoons, it's slipped on the kids' shows, innuendos, it's slipped in every nook and cranny. So as a man, fellas, could you teach your child, as equally as you teach the finances and spirituality and them being confident, not being bullied in school, baby, when you're ready to have sex, because, they walking on shows that we watch. We try to be discretional. Some people just say, fuck it, they let their kids watch what they watch, regardless. But they see these things. So do you sit them down and say, look, as long as nobody violating you and you're welcoming them into your body for that experience for both of y'all, it's okay. Like, can you have if all these girl dads out there, can you absorb? Can you take that conversation? Some people, it depends on if they end up raising their daughter and they're single. But if you're in a dual family home and you and your daughter got that relationship, can you really stomach that kind of conversation? Because if not, and we're naive, you go out to this world and she bump into another you, because God has a funny way of being, karmatic. Karma's a bitch. You know what I mean? And if you ain't use a rubber on it, yeah, you come back with that baby. Most of the time, karma don't let you use a rubber when you fucking her. You know what I mean? It comes back out. You know what I mean? So she's gonna run into attitudes. Your daughter's already a version of you anyway, and she's gonna run into different phases of you and be contested with those things. Hey, how you doing, baby girl? Yeah, I really, can we go out, chill? What we end up, you know what I mean? She end up having sex with dude and the fucking, and dude all of a sudden he want to slide off and do it. Appreciate you, or however we do when we decide we want to go ahead and cut a motherfucker loose and not deal with him no more. You know what I mean? Those situations happen. We do it all the time. Most of us. There's some guys out there who haven't, but I'm messy. You know what I mean? So what do you do in those situations? How do you train your kids? We know how easily we can train our sons. But then sometimes we again, the point is, we go to our sons, son, make sure, she's got a life together, a good head on her shoulders, this, that, and the third. And, if she happens to say, you know what I mean? Then you make sure you run. You don't want that kind of girl in your life, son. She'll tear you apart. Upside, inside out, live la vida loca. Oh man, shout out to Ricky Martin right now. Ricky Martin is going through some shit right now. They're trying to determine if the laws was in Puerto Rico, the incest laws, are left or right for this dude, because he over there trying to goddamn, stick the hot stick in his nephew. Goddamn, living La Vida Loca. I remember we saw Ricky Martin. I know it's off subject. Ricky Martin when he came out or whatever, or exposed one or two some years ago. But now the man had the nephew had a restraining order on old Rick, man. Mr. La Vida Loca, man. His nephew had a restraining order, man. Said, hey man, stop trying to pipe me down. Ricky said, he'll push and spit you out, live la vida loca. Nah, man. So now they got official charges on it. They trying incest. They got to determine if it. Jesus, this is the world we live in. You see why it's important to talk about this shit? It's important to talk about the sexual side of life. You know what I mean? And really build a level of understanding, because some people think certain shit is cool. Some people think, he was a consensual adult. Hey, it's your nephew, man. And your nephew, motherfucker, you said no means no. You still trying to take the man booty. It's a very sad situation. Women, what conversation do you have with your daughter or with your sons? I mean, let's keep it even, Steven. We messy. We ain't sloppy. We messy. Women, because men have conversation with their sons. Women have conversation with their sons. I guess in the perfect world, you would hope to have these conversations together, especially in a dual parent, dual family home. You have these sit downs and conversations together, and in a perfect world, that'd be super great, right? For the mom and dad to be able to sit down and have a very candid but fluid conversation, a very open conversation, a very transparent conversation. But we live in a world where, said that they weren't ready for it at that age. And, I can't tell them everything, certain things. They're just going to have to go out there and find out on themselves. And, is that the way we handle, divulging sexual information and teaching our kids in our home? Oh, I can't tell them about that. They might get their heart broken. They might get ran through. They might catch something. You know what I'm saying? But we can talk about the financial situations. We can talk about, the educational situations, the pros and the cons, and if you're going to live by yourself, this is what happens and what you need to worry about. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to live with somebody, there's potentially what you need to worry about. And the spiritual and the financial sector of life. But when it comes to the sexual things, it's kind of like you can't go there and brag with your sons. I mean, this is the world we live in. I hear it all the time. Hey boy, daddy used to lay him down. Boy, hey boy, they used to call me the plumber. Boy, I ain't had no permit though. Boy, your daddy was wild there. Boy. You can't turn around your daughter, daddy, I got Jake likes me at school. Jake. He probably a slick motherfucker, boy. I tell you, boy. I'm telling you, daughter, man. If he anything like your man, boy, he gonna treat you right. You're not finna say that shit to your daughter. You're not finna handle it. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna do it. And if you are, I like to hear about it. If you were to talk to your daughter like in that mannerism, about it's okay to get piped down, it's da 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 da, and brag about your sexual background and the way that you would, talk to your son about it. Again, two different sexes, two different conversations, but I'm just saying I'm putting messy thoughts out there. I'm putting food for thought out there to get some feedback. I mean, dude, is that the approach, or you tell me what the approach is? You know what I mean? You let me know what the approach is, because again, we're supposed to be open about, sexual gender preference, gender fluidity, and this, that, and the third, and that's cool, and it's cute for, if dude, you were the female, and all she says was, oh yeah, I said I was with a girl before, with two girls, and they'd be like, okay, whew. You fine with that? But if she said I was with 2, 3, 4 guys, you know what I mean? You can't get through that rationale. You can't get through that rationale. You want to know, damn, how that motherfucker learn that trick right there? Did you ask that when the motherfucker made some good beans and rice and some fried chicken? You ain't say, damn, I wonder how she learned how to cook. A dude probably told her how to cook that while he's fucking the shit out of her ass. Like, baby, goddamn, yeah, batter that motherfucker. Now drop that bitch in that hot grease. He's goddamn long, digging her while she at the stove. She done mastered that fried chicken. Oh, you just keep. Yeah, you don't want to learn how she got down. Man, you are such a good driver, baby. I never fall asleep in the passenger seat. Goddamn, she driving like that nigga. Hey, he thought of some shit while she on the road. Now focus, baby. Don't focus on that road now. She the best goddamn driver. She locked in. She ain't finna rattle that reel. She ain't finna shake the wheel, man. She finna lock it on in. You know, these are the hard scenarios, you know, that happen every day that we don't want to talk about and be, you know, and be exposed to. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it fair? They say everybody don't need to know everything about your sexual past. You know, just focus on us right now where we're at. You know, is that better to know, to, you know, to have that level of understanding? Like, look, I don't even want to know. And then when we say we don't want to know, we block out a whole, you know, we block out a whole level of conversation, of openness with that person, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Just being a non-objective. When you say, I don't want to know about your sexual history, I don't want to know what you into, I don't want to know none of that. Let's just talk about the birds and the bees and, you know, growing together. We block out that whole level of conversation, you know, with our partners, or potential partners. You know what I mean? Because you could really get open, and get to know them in a different level of intimacy and a different level of things they thought they'd be fearful to share with you, that they didn't share with, you know, say their girlfriends or whatever, whoever they didn't share the shit with. You know what I'm saying? They were like, shit, they want a partner they can share, be able to share that situation with, or at least, you know what I'm saying, inform, or not be shy with the question and still be able to go ahead, you know what I mean, and move on in the conversation. You know what I mean? Or explore things together with them in a certain space. Because that's what happened. A lot of avoidance comes. A lot of walls go up when you start to, you know, potentially envision your lady or your man with different partners and stuff. And then God forbid, you know what I'm saying, it was in a situation of infidelity, you know, then that definitely is gonna you know, stir up some motherfucking shit. But how do you teach that to your kids? Because it comes up, because again, it's taboo for a girl to say how many dudes she done fuck, how many dicks she done suck. Goddamn. It's taboo as hell. What a guy say, man, yeah, I know you ain't eat it, cut, man. I ran, whoo, goddamn shit, I ran through that, sir. It's okay. It's, you know, it's okay. It's okay. You could be there. Oh, you could be that Tarzan. You could be that goddamn Jane. You find out Jane in there fucking the gorillas, apes, and you found out it was another caveman on the other side of the island. You're like, oh, you know, you wasn't the only one. Goddamn, the other goddamn Barzan. That motherfucker had her hanging from the goddamn when, you know, some of them high ass branches you swing through. Yeah, she was hanging from that bitch, like going crazy. Can you teach your kids that situation? Can you have a confident conversation and an explicit but thoughtful conversation with your children to teach them about sexuality and to teach them about being open, if and when you decide to share your body with somebody, to be open with that, or hey, it's okay to go ahead and withhold that, because just like sexual preference, I don't have to let anybody know my sexual preference. And just like, you know, or your sexuality and then your sexual partners, I don't have to let, that's my business. Just that and the third. Well, you're sharing your financial business and your financial habits, you know, or you're sharing and showing that. You're sharing and showing, you know, your eating habits, you know, when you go grocery shopping. Hey, can you bring something over to the house? Let's cook. And they seeing what you cooking, what you got in your house. You just like, you know, you go in people's bathroom and check what's in their medicine cabinet, this, that, and the third. So, you know, you check and see what's in their refrigerator, see how they shop. Right. So the same thing goes along, you know what I'm saying? You're seeing how they fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, she don't have any sexual experience, or she do and she just suck, you know what I'm saying? Or vice versa, you know, he cool, but he suck in bed, da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? You don't stop at, like, you know, you stop, you know what I mean? You're like, well, shit, goddamn, you ain't, I mean, well, let's talk, nigga. Like, how many people you fuck because you're sucking right now? You know what I mean? The same thing you could do if you came home with the bank account is overdrawn. Like, all right, look, well, how many bank accounts? Because the account is overdrawn, and we need to really have this conversation, because, you know, you fucking up the equilibrium of our financial stability in the home. It's the same goddamn thing. The same level of conversation could be had. It's the same impact on both sides. Man, you don't know how to balance a checkbook and keep our finances straight. I don't know if this gonna work. Man, if you don't know how to goddamn knock the box out, if you don't know how to suck the dick, whatever, I don't know if this is gonna work. If you don't know how to goddamn pray before you eat your food, that means you ain't got no level of spirituality. You don't believe in God. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's messy. It's messy. I mean, it's the truth. You know, we can't have it both ways. We can't have our cake and eat it too. You know, we can't. But again, some of us were trained that way. Again, back in the 1500s, 2 AD, this, that, and the third, it was okay for the man to have his concubines and this and that. And again, if the woman, she ended up fucking the help or something like that, shit. What some of them, I think they used to brand the pussy. They used to take an iron and sear that joint closed, sew it closed or some shit like that. Yeah. Or some people go ahead, they get beheaded or they get ostracized to the community. You know, if there was royalty, they get sent back with the peasants and stuff like that. You get all their royalty privileges stripped away. Oh, you fuck who? You fuck what? Off with her head. Be a lot of motherfuckers decapitated around this bitch. Off with her head. Yeah. But now it's coming to the world. You know, you got the city girls out there. You got all kinds of groups out there, going crazy. You know, the world. You got Nicki Minaj. She been on a thing. Cardi, Megan Thee Stallion is busting them loose. You know, you got Doja Cat out there. Man, they busting them loose. You know, they like Be Open, Explore. What was the other girl back in the day? Katy Perry. You know, they saying girl power, explore, Lady Gaga, Pink, you know, I can go on and on and on and on and on. Girl power, explore, take your independence. Girl power, explore. Girl power, explore. It sound good. It would probably sound good if you to do fucking. Be open. Hey, what's your name? I'm Kareem. You wanna fuck? Sure. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's just a night. It was just an experience. Just like I tried a new drink, I tried a new dick, I tried some new pussy. It was cool. You know, gotta go to work tomorrow. On to the next day. You know, that's where we're at in life. But can you accept that reality? And if you can accept that reality, if you have people coming up under you, whether you're kids or not, can you have that civil conversation? And really, I'm really directing to in home because, unless you're in a random situation where, you know, you have a bystander by you, you know, somebody in distress, and you have one of them crazy conversations where you just happen to share, you know, information for whatever reason. Other than that, you know, how do you talk to your niece and nephew? You know, you might be the mom or dad in their relationship. Their mom or dad, your brother, sister might have died, and you raise your niece and nephew. These are all people, whoever you feel near and dear to your heart. You know what I'm saying? Can you handle the body count? Murder, she wrote. Na, 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 na. Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. Na, na, na. Murder, she wrote. Bodies. Body after body after body after body. That's that URL, man. Ultimate Rap League. Shout out to Smack. Yeah, shout out to Big Smack out there, man. Fuck with them boys, man. You know, it's a sexualized world. You know, everybody's screaming, you know, I'm king, I'm queen. It's a man's world, it's a woman's world. Everybody's, you know, boosting up their materials. They're boosting up their real estate game. Everybody's boosting up, you know, financial literacy and freedoms. They boosting up, you know, sexual exploration. And we'll do that when we're exploring, but can you have the discussion? You know what I mean? Can you really have the discussion? Does it even need to be had? You know what I mean? Again, that's the word. Does that discussion need to be had? Can you have that conversation? Does it need to be had? And if it's had, what was the point of having that conversation? Can you have that kind of conversation with a younger you bringing up, with a child that you bringing up? You know, it's taboo. Again, if the lady, I fuck 20 dudes. I'm like, damn. Now, if you bold enough to say, well, damn, Well, how'd you fuck the 20? You might, might as well go ahead and get you. You gonna blow your fucking head in the ass? Yes, all of them. I ain't never. Shit. That was a different part of my life. Shit. Did I miss out? Shit. No pun intended. Get it? Shit. Yes. No, it's messy. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. And again, we all have our conversations, our quiet corner conversation with our selective group, guys with our homies or whatever. Ladies with your ladies, or ladies if you got guy friends, got guys if you got girlfriends, if you got female, male cousins of the opposite sex. This conversation can go either way. You know what I mean? Are you prepared for the conversation? Can you smell what the rock is cooking? You understand? You picking up what I'm putting down? Finally, last but not least, yeah.
This last break is brought to you by MeetTheDoobies.com. Go to www.meetthedoobies.com and check out and stay up on all the freshest gear. They got the fresh rolling papers, all natural, slow hemp burning, rolling trays, rolling papers, you name it. Also, go to our private group on Facebook, Meet the Doobies, and we'll keep you up to speed on all the greatest and latest flavors and crazes out there in this crazy world. Also, as well as Doobie Fest. The first annual Doobie Fest is coming up September 24th in Brunswick, Virginia. You guys check it out. It's going to be horses, family fun, food caterers. We're going to have a pop-up with vendors out there who have all kinds of situations hosted by Mike Wu. Myself and King Pope Kennels, we are hosting a meet and greet. MVP, Maryland, Virginia family Bully Fest. So you guys come on out September 24th. Enjoy the rest of the show. And as always, if it ain't messy, it ain't me. Not you.
Straight like that, man. You know, it's definitely messy, man. It's like, let me see. Can you feel the heat, man? If you ain't ready to have tough conversations, you're not ready for life. How do you get prepared for life? By having tough conversations. You know what I mean? That's the way of the world. You're not ready for life if you're not ready to have tough conversations. And how do you get prepared for life? By having tough conversations. You can't. There's no way around it, man. We push people out into this world to figure it out. You know, and it's insult to injury sometimes because we were scared to have conversations with ourselves. You can't. I understand you can't have a conversation out loud with somebody else if you haven't first had the conversation with yourself. I know it's kind of deep, but it is what it is. You know, it's about mental health. It's about stability. When you have them levels of insecurities, potential insecurities in your life, when you're not sexually secure, when you're not financially secure, those things, you press those things out towards other people's and it can affect your relationship. So how do we prepare ourselves better to enter a relationship with people, whether it's superficial or it's, you know, or you're making a soul tie with a person. It's about having tough conversations. We don't have those tough conversations and shit turns bad sooner than later. And we wonder where do we go from here. You know, we wonder, you know, should I have left this motherfucker a long time ago? We wonder if I should have still been fucking with old boy. Or should I still been fucking with old girl? I should have just kept shit how it was. And you know what I mean? But I learned something. I learned something that I want to tell you guys before I go. And it was one of the most important things I learned in my life. You know, in my 42 years walking on this earth, one of the most important things I learned, that if it ain't